Okay, good day to you. Sam here with you on a Sunday morning, October 14th. And I thought, while it was somewhat quiet here, it'd be a good time to do a bit of an update on the behind the scenes, kind of the walkthrough if you're thinking about joining us. I thought this can be helpful, and we continue to refine, and what we hope is to improve the format with which we're teaching this material. So I thought I would just give us a little bit of an update here and kind of walk you through the process so there are no surprises. The sequence of events here is that you'll start on our website. So you go to TradeDevils.com. You'll see the membership options, and you can join either via PayPal or you can use crypto. So once you've gone through that process and the enrollment process, you will receive an email from us with an access link to the private Discord. Now, there can be a bit of a lag here. It depends on the type. It depends on where you are in the world. So don't panic if you don't get an immediate email with access. It may be that we're just not up and rolling here. So, but it will. We try and be as responsive as we possibly can. So it will come. If you go through that process, it's not automated here. We can't automate the access, unfortunately. So there will be an email that one of us will send to you with that access link. And that will, it's a one-time use link, right? So it's not the kind of thing you can pass around. So just, as you might suspect. So you've got a single access link, so you'll want to use it once you get it. Now, once you click that link, you're going to come into the Discord here. You're going to land in the General tab here. And you're going to see all of these channels over here on your left, of which you will not have access. You will have access to just a couple of them. Now, we do this for a reason. One is there's so much content here that we found that people were getting a bit overwhelmed by it all. And there is a method to our madness here in all of this content. There's a structure and an organizational flow that we want to take you through. So what we found is by limiting the initial access, the whole process became more efficient. So when you land here in General, you can buzz through here, and General, it's just like it's just pretty straightforward here. So this would be non-specific content, or if we want to communicate with all of the members at once, that's where you might find that kind of content on the General tab. Next, you will see access. You will have access to the rules and regs, and this, you do want to read these here. There's nothing that will be surprising to anyone. It's pretty basic rules and regs you'd expect that wouldn't surprise anyone. It's things like sharing of content, or bad mouthing, or it's pretty straightforward. Spamming. These are things that we can't abide by in here. So, but we do have them listed here. We want you to read them, understand. Again, nothing that would surprise you here. So scrolling up now, the next area that you'll have access to will be here under the training. This will be the Welcome Members section. Okay, so here we were forced to kind of reorg the material. We used to keep all of the training content here on the Discord. But what we found is that people were getting a little bit loose with the sharing of content. So we had to restrict it more so than we were doing here, just so that it was fair to everyone. So what we did was we moved all of the video training content over to Vimeo. Now here, this is an exact walkthrough of how to set up and get access to that content. So it's not complicated. It's straightforward here. Right. Most of you would be familiar with Vimeo. If not, here's direct links to get there and how to set this up. It's very straightforward. Vimeo, another video sharing site if you're not familiar with it, but it allows for private access to the content within different channels. So you want to follow this process exactly, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3. Get access to that content, and then you'll have all of that training material, and additionally, all of these channels will now open up to you. It's just a way for us to know who's in here, what kind of access they have, and it ultimately has made for a more efficient process, both for the students and for the coaches, or senseis as we call them. So that will be the next area that you'll go to. So once you've been through that process, and then you've set up your Vimeo account, again, very easy to do, then you'll want to come through and read through here. So here's a few different things that are in here. So we've launched an affiliate program. So that may be of interest to you once you become a member. If you were comfortable referring people within your network to us, we'd like to think we have a fairly aggressive affiliate program, right? The compensation is $100 after they stay for 2 months. So in theory, if you referred 1 or 2 people a month, your membership would be paid for. So it's totally optional. It's not mandatory, but just we make it available to you. So if you're interested in that, this is where you can find out about it here. So here's all the documentation of how to become an affiliate, how the compensation works. So all here for your access. Now this is something that I wanted to show you. So this is helpful. So this is a sort of a flow chart of everything that's in here that I think you'll find will be useful to you in understanding the way we've organized the material. So if you see here in gold, all of this is locked content. Right, so that you have to give us a request for this material, right? That's all the training content, right? So that's what's been moved over to Vimeo. So you'll have, and you can see it here. So we've got all of the training content here, whether it's the trading tools that we use, median lines, fibs and algos, Elliott Wave Theory, the oscillator package we recommend, portfolio management, risk management, trading, FX. All the content here that you would hope to find here. Now, additionally, here we have trading discussion rooms where once you've been identified as a subscriber, you'll have access to all of this content here. Now, the one area you see here in red, this is the live trades content here. And again, this is by request. So if you're interested in real-time trading analysis as we're going through trades and entering trades and where are we getting in, where are the stops, where are the targets, how do we manage it through the course of the trade, that's the live trades channel. So you will need to just give us a request for access to that content, which we're happy to accommodate. There's no requirement other than you sending us that request, right? So we know who's in there. Then additionally here you'll see then we've got our discussion rooms and then all of our belt system here, which we're going to get to. In fact, I'm going to do a dedicated video just on that whole organization of how we approach the belt system. So this is worth looking at so you kind of get an understanding of where things are. All right, so this whole process here is, again, nothing here is difficult. It's just step 1, step 2, step 3, send us your username, boom, you'll have access. Okay, right, so pretty straightforward. All right, so let's go in. So once you've done that, then all of these channels are going to open up to you. So once you're in here now, I thought I would just take you through a couple of these so you get sort of an idea. So let's go down to here. Here's the analysis requests. All right, this is our channel headings here, and then the individual channels in here. So for example, chart analysis, crypto. Now, you'll notice here, anytime that you see our logo, it might be in different colors. So where you see our logo here in green, so that's a sensei, or these are essentially trading coaches. We in the spirit of our borrowing from the martial arts format, we call them senseis. So these are all certified technicians that have been through all of this training. We tend to promote from within. So these were successful members that mastered the material, and then we brought them on as trading coaches because of their engagement, their sophistication, their willingness to get certified. So these are people, these are trading coaches that are here to help you as you go through this material. So again, you'll see here, anytime you see one of our logo, and of course each sensei has a different color, right? You'll see these guys responding to chart requests or people looking for analysis, or they might have a wave count or some structure or a trade setting up that they've identified and they're looking for feedback from it. So this is a very active channel here where you're going to see a lot of engagement between senseis, trading coaches, and the membership. Right, so that's chart analysis, crypto, video analysis here. You'll often, if you've watched me on YouTube, you'll often hear me talk about polling the members. Right, so we'll do it pretty much 5 days a week. We'll do a polling amongst members to let them steer us, as in what would the membership like to see video analysis on. So we do that, and then we poll it through polling software. We'll do here, so everybody can get their voice heard about what they'd like to see get analysis in video. Right, so the same idea here for chart analysis. So here's traditionals, here's video analysis, traditionals, video poll results, and then we do freestyle stuff that's primarily my partner Quan, where he will take a particular subject, and we'll let people make a request. So for example here, so here's a poll that we just did for the freestyle video series, where you're going to give us the asset that you'd like analyzed, and then either I or my partner will go through kind of a live analysis process. So we'll just kind of give you the breakthrough of how we think about it, how we'd analyze it, where the probabilities are, where the trading opportunities are. So that's something that we've just recently incorporated, and that's members only here in this section. Now, if you are used to seeing some of my videos on YouTube, so here's recent material that I've posted. So we always post a chart and the video for anything that I've done a video analysis. So the way we do this here is that I'll do these video analysis here in the first part of the day. So members will have access to it for 4 or 5 hours before we post it up on YouTube. It's kind of a give back to the community. So we offer up this training, and then a lot of times people will see this and go, I want to learn more about it, or I want to learn specifically how to do that. I want to develop this skill set, and then they'll come in here and join us as a member. So that's kind of the process here. But do note that members have access to it far before the general community. So that if there's an actionable trade, you'll have first access to that. So there's that. Now, I wanted to show you all the training tabs here so you get an idea of what the format here. So again, it's not that there's no content in here. We still have content in here that we share with members here. So there's value in here. And so, for example, I'm in the Elliott Wave Theory training section. So you'll have all the different patterns broken down and analyzed with content here. But then we've got risk management theory here. We've got portfolio management. We've got indicators. This is particular indicator setups that we use and how to apply them to your charts. Market geometry here, which you see me talk a lot about here. Most of that content is over on Vimeo, excuse me. Then the belt system information, right? So we're going to do a dedicated video just on the belt system. But if you're interested in entering in to that whole program, then there's a process here that you'll need to go through to get started, and start with white belt, then we go blue, and then purple, and on. So there's more information should you want to go through that process. Now, again, is with most of the things in here, it's not mandatory, it's not required. But we find that if you are really serious about developing your trading skills, by putting it into this structured format where we have education, then we have both a written exam and a practical exam, that we get far better results there with members retaining and being able to apply what they're learning in real time. So that's why we moved to that format, and we've had a really good response to it. So I know that the members that are in here that are serious about learning and developing these skills have really taken to it. So but again, same sort of process, right? If you want to get access to that, then you have to let us know that you'd like to start it, right? So that, again, the idea being we kind of keep an eye on who's in there and how you're progressing, how you're doing. That's the thing, right? So everybody, we want to give you as much personal attention as we can, but again, this helps us kind of identify where you are. Oh, you're blue belt, working on purple. These are the areas that you're focused on. You sort of get the idea so that we can keep track, because we have now hundreds and hundreds of members. So it gives us a quick snapshot of where you are in your learning progression. So there's all that information here. And again, there's material in here that's useful to you. But so, for example, here's all the algo content that was here. Well, pardon me. Here are examples of algo content, but then we've moved it all over to Vimeo. So all the algo training is now over on Vimeo, right? So you would click here, that'd take you to Vimeo. You'd have to log in and have that access, right? So you kind of get the idea there. Now let me go down to, let's see. So we've been through the training. Let me see. Let's see. We've been through. Here's here in the Trade Devil analysis. There's the video material. Any updated counts that we might have on Bitcoin here in specific, or any of the major alts. That'll be, well, it could be any alt for that matter. But you'll see there's a lot of idea exchange here between members and senseis or grandmasters. So if there's something where we post an opportunity, or there's some analysis, or someone has requested something, so you can see here's one of my senseis here offering up analysis on EOS to the US dollar. Here's Ethereum to Bitcoin. Here's so you get the idea, right? So there's going to be all sorts of different things. Here's Litecoin update from Tudum, who's one of our top guys. Here's Hove, another sensei, with his Ethereum to the dollar. So you've got a lot of idea exchange. And see, if you look in here, what we're trying to do, we want these to be templates for you. The idea is not for us to do the work and just give it to you, right? There's a place for that, and there are certainly other memberships where that's what you're going to experience, where they're going to do the work for you. You're just going to take the trade. That's really not what we're about. We don't consider ourselves just straightforward trade callers. Our objective is to get you to the point to where you can use this as a template, and you learn by doing, and you learn by practicing. So in seeing how we do it, what we're experiencing is the more that we can show this and then ask you to repeat it, and then take a coin that you perhaps don't have our work on, and then take this analysis methodology and apply it to something on your own, the retention is far greater rather than, well, here's a bunch of videos, go watch those and good luck with them, right? So we really want to be mindful of the entire process of retention. How do you retain it? How do you best apply it? So thus, even in all of the belt system, there's a practical exam, there's a written exam where we're going to ask you dedicated questions about the material you've studied, but then a practical exam as well. So we want to know that not only did you memorize it, but that you understand it well enough to apply it. Right? So that's thus every belt has both a written and a practical exam where we want to see you applying it to charts of your choosing. So that kind of gives you an overview there. So that's kind of what you can expect here in all of this, right? And we have every asset class. Every asset class is farther than beyond just crypto, right? So here we've got equities, we've got foreign exchange, right? So some of us very active in FX, and then futures and commodities as well. So here's gold futures. Here's oil, here again. So you've got every asset class that you can imagine is in here. So again, it's not so much about here's the trade call, buy it here, sell it here. It's here's the analysis. Now, based on that, and again, because no two traders, the risk tolerance, the profile, it's very individually oriented in terms of how you might approach the trade. You may be that it's a trade that you don't have the available capital to dedicate to the trade, but doesn't mean you can't learn something by watching the trade evolve, right? Or looking at that analysis. So again, I guess the point I'm trying to emphasize here is that we are far more than just crypto. We're trading, right? If you can think right now, as crypto's been in almost a 10-month bear market, there's plenty of opportunity in other assets. So everything that we're teaching is applicable to any asset class. Doesn't matter. They all trade the same way. It's all the same thing, right? So again, you can take every skill that we teach you here can be applied to any asset class. And it does not matter. Any time frame, any asset class, you want to trade off the 1 minute or the 1 month. They all trade exactly the same way. Right, so and if you doubt that, well, come on in. We'll prove it to you. Right, it's fear and greed. That's just represented in a chart of price. It's the same thing, guys. Every market, always the same, right? They all move the same way, right? And if you have a skepticism about that, we encourage you to bring that to the table. And we'll walk you through that and help you understand why we make that claim. All right, so what else do I have here? So one thing that we do a lot that we've done recently here in the traditional channel. So we're down now. We're doing it now twice a week. So twice a week, I'll do a live S&P day trading webinar here. So people that are interested in day trading in the futures market, where I spend a lot of my time here, where you can see it's very active here. So we have throughout the course of the day. So I'll typically on Tuesdays and Thursdays from market open to market close, we'll have a live webinar running. So if you're interested in, again, right, same methodology applied to the S&P, we typically work on 15-minute charts are the predominant vehicle that we're using for trading in there. So there might be anywhere from 3 to 7 trades a day, right? That would be a lot. So it's not 50 little scalps. But they're we're active. It's a very active room, and again, twice a week. If you're interested, you can log on to the webinar. There's no additional cost for it. It's just if you want to spend the time watching the market trade, or how we would teach you to trade it. I'm actually trading it live, but some people they'll follow along with sim, or they'll paper trade it. So that's just an option for you that I want you to be aware of. Oh, and then here's in these trading rooms, here's crypto trading, traditional trading, member setup. So if members, they're kind of flexing their muscle, they've learned. Now so here's a member who's learned, who's setting up a trade, and he's sharing with both senseis and other members, right? So the idea here is often, because you have the benefit of kind of a group think here, and that you'll have people looking at assets you hadn't considered or hadn't seen, or hey, I didn't realize there was a descending triangle setting up here in Walton Chains, right? So there's opportunity here in having other people with like-minded thinking scouring the market for these very same opportunities. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And then here's another thing that we think is kind of cool that we've recently launched. We have our top devil of the month, right? So, excuse me. So these are real money accounts. So there's no paper trading in here. So this has to be documented accounts, and we track this. So top devil of the month gets that recognition, and we do a few things for you. And so I think the winner last month was our top devil. Oh, Disco Stew had a 41, so you can see it over here. Top devil here was Disco Stew. He had 41% return for the month, right? So people having a lot of success in here, but that's kind of recognition that we offer to you, and that's just a friendly competition every month. And then, just a few other tabs I can show you here. So we've got crypto mining, resources, members advice, different platforms and exchanges if you're thinking of trading on. And then we have all of our individual lounges for each individual belt. So here's people that are studying together to get blue belt or purple belt. I don't have anyone in that lounge yet. So blue belt, we have people trading in here. This is people discussing what they're going through as they learn through the white belt process. Just again, exchanging information with other members who are at the same place in the learning curve, and they're trying to learn it, and they're sharing those ideas with other members. And then you have some sensei. So here's a sensei responding, offer some input or some feedback on what other members are working on. So that kind of give you an idea. And then as I mentioned here, with all of the different belts that we have here, I'm going to do a dedicated video that will walk you through exactly what the belt system looks like and what's involved there, so you can stand by for that. So that'll probably give you enough to get an overview of what's here and what you can expect when you first hit the Discord, and then getting access and where everything is located. And you'll find that pretty much 24/7 there's activity in here. Now here it's Sunday morning here in the States, so it's relatively quiet right now. But during the week, it's really, again, 24/7 nature of crypto. There's always something happening in here. So that give you kind of a good walkthrough. If you have questions, you feel free. You can always write us. You can put a comment right here on YouTube, or you can write us directly just by going to our website. Send us an email. So we're happy to answer questions that you might have. I'm just trying to give you an overview of what's going on in here. So hopefully that's helpful, and we'll make the process a little bit easier, but at the very least you'll know what to expect when you get here. All right, guys, with that, I will call it a wrap, and look for that video on the belt system to be coming soon. All right, see you later.